Correctors. Sometimes people think, or if you do, I will say not experienced artists will say, why this brand have a correctors? That means colors is not good. Truth is, all colors are changing over the time. Sometimes they fade before they change, and some long-lasting will often change. Organic or inorganic. You have so much information about organic and inorganic. It really, organic is brighter, inorganic more cooler, but still they all have undertone eventually. So it depends also skin we know. So correctors are for, you can adjust the color. Like for example, if your color line have lightest color warm, and you have type 1 of the skin that very fragile, very fair, and if you use warm and accidentally deposited too deep, or is an older client that it will go deeper than you would love to, it can create purplish look. So you can use for type 1 too warm color. So you need to make a taupe, or your client want a taupe color rather than warm. You can add corrector to create that from what you have. So you don't have to have 150 colors, all shades. Beginner will get so confused with that. So the less colors you have, then easier for you to begin, to start. By the time you learn, you'll understand why is the different undertones, because students often get so confused about these undertones and how to choose color. Correctors are allowed us to manipulate color that we want to, or we look for. We also, when we see over time color changes, we can bring back to balance. If it's too warm, we can make it cooler, and so on as a fade, so we can balance it out. Correctors is a great addition. You just have to know how to use, and for the long term. And your client always come back to you if you know how to use correctors, because you will always make them happy. It's like a hair. They losing the color over the time. They become like for example, I color blonde. If I don't come back, they become like orangey or yellowish. Correctors they use to manipulate the color and bring back what's missing. So correctors are important to have, but make sure you use the same line of color use, because the chemistry is different and won't work. It won't work maybe 100% if you use different brands constantly. If you do session one brand, then correct another, and year the third and fourth. So pick some, or that's why I have to have a chart, so you write it down what you use. You can use different brands. You can switch them with 2 years, for example, but not each touch up different brand or mix it up with different correctors, because sometimes clients, I don't want a warm, I want a cool color, and I just want to do light one. So you do that corrector just to manipulate the color, what direction you want to get warmer or cooler, without even waiting to see undertone. You really need correctors.